So, Asia, we have made a video in the past that had to do with DHS, and it's the same type of thing. So, did you meet any other caseworkers or just Megan? Megan Gillum was her name,
No, I
right?
know who Megan is. I'm just trying to think of her name. I don't think so.
Just Megan?
I think so. I might have had, like, a guy maybe one time, but I can't remember.
And you said they came to your house where your dad
Yeah.
lives. Okay. And when one of the complaints that I typed out in my thing, when I typed up our, what do you call that? I took dictation of our conversation when they came to the house. And she told me that basically because of your age, you could choose where you want to live. And then you told me that she told you the same thing. Mm-hmm. And are you, so I'm just going to ask it and then have you. So Megan told Asia she could choose to live where she wants. Asia, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. She told me the same thing, so I just want to verify that she did tell you that. Now, Asia, that is actually not correct. You had a parenting plan you were supposed to follow. Your age has nothing to do with it. She had no, and that was giving you legal advice, which she's not allowed to do, blah, blah, blah. I know you don't care. It's over. I'm just saying. I'm just verifying she did really say that to you.
Yes.
And I was not present. That was when I was not present, right? Yes. And so I'm not surprised that she really did say that to you because she said it to me at my house in this bedroom standing right there. So I know you're not just making that up. I know she really must have said that to you. Okay, so now this is my opinion of what happened. You can tell me if you agree. So you've been staying at, this is, obviously I wrote this a long time ago. So you had been staying at your dad's house for more time than what you are allowed to, according to our parenting plan, and you were watching your little brother Tate, who's autistic, and during your online school time. And the reason why you did that was, you told me, is because you were offered babysitting money to watch your brother and you wanted the money. And is that right?
Yes.
That all sounds right. And it started pretty much, in my opinion, like what? A month after COVID started, which was like about a year ago.
Yeah,
and it's like a month after that it started kind of.
Something like that.
Your dad pretty much just completely stopped following the parenting plan, as in, he's responsible for doing the driving, and he just stopped. Mm-hmm. Every time I've seen you since a year ago, it's because I either went and picked you up or because one of your friends drove you here and did it. Your dad has not participated at all. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So, I'm not saying he's never picked you up here, but honestly, I think maybe he picked you up once in the last year here at the house or something, and it was definitely had nothing to do with our parenting plan. Yeah. Okay, so that answers those questions. Now these are the other things about what happened that were not good things. But I'm just verifying that these things really did happen and you remember. So, Asia, do you remember? This is sad. And this upset me when I found out you did remember. Do you remember when your dad came to our trailer at Mount Nebo? Do you remember living in the trailer at Mount Nebo? Yes. And do you remember when your dad said he was...
Threatened to set the trailer on fire.
What? Yeah, do you remember when your dad said he was going to burn the trailer down? You remember?
Yes.
We called the police that night. Do you remember that?
Yes.
You remember what the police said?
No, I don't remember what they said.
Good. We'll leave it that way. Yeah, so you do, and do you remember what else your dad said?
No.
Were we inside the trailer when your dad said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, your dad was going to, what was your dad going to do with us
in? Burn the trailer down with me and you in it.
Yeah, he was going to burn the trailer down, yeah. So you were, that was right after our divorce.
That was like 9 or 10.
Yeah, and that was literally, right before our divorce and during our divorce.
I think I was 9, 10.
You were 10?
9 or 10. Was it
you
10?
were like 10 and Isaac was like 14. It was right after we split up, is what I meant to say. Okay, so you remember. Now, do you remember the time I dropped you off, I dropped off Isaac and Gabby at Shane's house when they lived in Green? I can't remember what the street's called, but
like Grange
it's
Road.
like kind of, yeah, and I think that is what it's called. It's back behind Subway.
Something like that. I think it was Grange Road.
And, your dad had a sudden temper out of nowhere, and I had to go running back to Grandma's car that I happened to leave the door open. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember. I think I did happen to leave the door open because you were still in the car. Yeah. And what happened, Asia?
Threw the rocks.
Your dad? Who threw rocks?
My dad.
At what? At who?
The car, us.
me, basically, which hit the
Yes.
car because I ran into the car, and you were screaming bloody murder. And then what happened after that? You might not remember.
We went to Ross.
Well, yes, and I bought you something. No, but I mean, in the moment,
I don't know.
the only reason why I made it in the car is because your brother went running up behind him and pushed him. And then do you remember your dad went over to the side to go try to pull up a big giant rock out of the...
Wow.
And thank God it was such an old thing that he couldn't get it out of the ground. And I was just thinking the whole time, what was he going to do with the big giant rock if he got it out of the ground? Anyway, so we could go into detail later. But yeah, that really happened. And... Okay, so tell me again about the incident you told me about with the knife that you said. And now this I get confused about, where it was with your dad threw it right by your head. I think it was with you and Kenzie.
I think it was either me and Kenzie or me and Reagan, and he was drunk, and...
Yeah, you said he was drunk.
He threw the knife, and it went right by my head to the...
You literally said you felt your hair move right past you.
Yeah, it just went like, shoo!
Barely missed your head. So that really happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so what... The one thing I'm really confused about is the timing on that. Like, where... Do you remember what house you were at? Or who he was dating?
Sarah.
So you did... He was dating Sarah. Okay, that's what you told me.
Right at the beginning.
He really threw a knife at your head, and it landed... You said it landed in the wall. He threw it so hard, it literally landed in the wall. Oh, my God. Okay. Okay, now let's talk about the drinking. So this is your dad. I'm mostly talking about when we first broke up, and your dad got with Jen, and they drank a lot, like every day. Your brother came back like smelling like yeast. It was so. Anyway, he told me that he spent over $1,000 a month on alcohol when he was with Jen. And they would drive to California to the liquor, because, you know, it's cheaper. Kelly, do you remember? What do you remember about that, basically?
I don't know. We just drank a lot.
But you're saying that, that's how you remember it?
Yeah.
That they drank, like, constantly?
Yeah.
That like, to the point of, like, $1,000 a month?
I don't know, money-wise, but...
Am I recording? Yes, I am. Okay. I thought I turned it off. I was like, oh, no. So, yeah, and your dad was driving. Do you remember the thing about him driving and driving all the way to California with Isaac and...
Yeah.
Yes. Do you remember Jennifer freaking out, and I was upset because they literally drove to California drunk and then, like, were bragging about it with the kids in the car? You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, oh yeah, so okay, so and your dad, after, of course, he told me he was selling, what was your dad selling at one point, which you say he doesn't do anymore?
Pills.
So he was getting prescription pain pills, which was, I don't even know what, but I'm assuming,
I don't know.
Yeah, Oxy something.
I don't know.
Something that's definitely a pain pill, and he was selling it, and so you know about that.
Yeah.
That's not something that's fake or false or... That really happened. You and Isaac both know about it. Used to. That's, yeah, you guys both say that. He doesn't do it anymore. That's what he's told you guys, at least. That's as far as we all know. Okay. And the one question, this is the last question I have for you. Did Megan ask you any of these questions?
I don't remember. Jeez, I never actually paid attention when I talked to her.
Anything at all?
I'm trying. Yes, she did ask me about the rocks. I remember that conversation.
You told her about it?
Mm-hmm.
What about the knife by your head?
I can't remember. I really can't remember what we talked about.
But she did ask you one question about the rock.
She might have asked me them all, but that was a long time ago.
Well, it was like 6 months ago. That wasn't that long ago.
It was a long time ago. I don't remember anything past, like...
You can't remember if she
last week.
It seems like she might have, though, asked you one.
She might have asked me. She might have asked me more than that. More than one of those.
Okay. But so she knew then, because you did verify it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's it. Thank you for participating and answering the question.
Dollar General now?
Yes, we can go to, hang on, go to Dollar General.